To introduce our Indian River County Commissioner. You know, I say he's kind of the bulldog on the Treasure Coast. I'll tell you what, Commissioner Solari has been out there from the start, and he has been a fabulous voice. He calls it like he sees it. He doesn't hold anything back. So, Commissioner Bob Solari, thank you.
Thank you very much, Casey. First, I've got to ask us all to have a round of applause for the people from the Inlet, the staff, and Casey Trailer. Next, I want you to pause for a minute. Think of the speakers that have spoken before me. Think of their best line. Now realize I said them all in my speech. I'm not going to repeat them, but I want credit for them.
A typical politician.
Well, at least I'm not repeating them. So one of the things that Commissioner McGee said was that
Wait.
she thought that the
1, 2, all right.
She thought that the... Hello? Yeah, she thought that the people from all aboard Florida were disingenuous. And that's a reasonably strong statement from a public official. But some months ago, I believe it was the March meeting of the Treasure Coast Plan Council, Todd Mowry, the commissioner from St. Lucie County, said the same thing about all aboard Florida. And I thought that was startling in a public meeting. Well, after paying attention to all aboard Florida for the last 8 months, I'll be happy to say that when you continue to tell half-truths, you're being more than disingenuous, you're lying. And while a lot of people initially were against all aboard Florida because of the RIF loan and the fact that it was a public subsidy, and if you actually put a number to that public subsidy, did the value to all aboard Florida over the 35-year course of the loan, that's over $3 billion. And they could not even admit that was a subsidy. That's a lie. And they continue to lie. When I, at a meeting up in St. mentioned that freight would benefit from the additional infrastructure improvements. And the president of all aboard Florida said I was part of the freight conspiracy. Now, how can you not admit something like that? It's remarkable. That the benefits to the community. All aboard Florida continues to say that there are benefits to the community, but doesn't say that these benefits do not go to the Treasure Coast. In Indian River...
One, two.
Thanks. In Indian River County, the costs of these railroad crossings will be more than any benefits that we get in terms of any economic improvements. Worse than that, there'll be decreased property values. And so as you go to talk to other people in your communities, and if they do live far from the tracks, remind them that a county is basically often a number of municipalities and the people who live in the unincorporated area of the county. And for the county to be strong, all areas of the county need to thrive. And if you run this train through the downtown cities, those areas are not going to thrive, and the whole county is going to suffer. I want to read one line from the president of FECI, a very bright guy, Mr. Vince Signorello. He was the South Florida Business Journal Deal Year about 2 years ago. And he says, you must develop a clear picture of where you want to end up and stay firmly in control of the smartest lawyers, bankers, and accountants you can to execute your vision. And Florida East Coast Railroad, Fortress Investment Group, all aboard Florida have done that. They've gotten the smartest bankers, smartest lawyers, smartest accountants. I also believe they've got some of the smartest political consultants, and they've tried to influence the smartest politicians in the state of Florida. So against that, we've got to mount as big a coalition as we can. In Indian River County, we've hired a good law firm to work on the EIS and help us going forward. The CARE Group in Martin County has also hired a renowned law firm to help them. Another group has hired White & Case, a first-class law firm out of Centerton, New York. The point of telling you all of this is because a sub-theme that all aboard Florida wants to believe is that it's a done deal. It is not a done deal. However, there's a lot more work to do. I have a friend who's fighting an issue. He's worked on it for 7 years, and he probably spends a third of his time on this one single issue. But he hasn't given up. All aboard Florida is a bigger issue than the issues he's working on. if we're going to, and we need to defeat All Aboard Florida. Make no mistake of that. There is no second place to this. Either we win, the communities along the Treasure Coast, or All Aboard Florida, and we will suffer for generations. But remember, we can defeat it. As Representative Lee said, as Representative Murphy said, when you leave here, call your 10 friends. That is a key. And every one of you, if you could, every month, write to some of your representatives. Keep us focused on this issue. What some people don't realize is that representatives, even county commissioners, such as County Commissioner Mowry, Commissioner Fielding, we've got 25, 50, 75 different issues that we have to work on. And those issues are all important to some constituent. So if you want us working on All Aboard Florida, you need to help us stay focused on All Aboard Florida. So with that, I'd like to again to thank everybody for coming here today. Thank Casey Traylor, thank all the volunteers, and let me thank you all in advance for the work you're going to be doing over the next months.
Thank you, Commissioner Solari. You know, I see all of you are hot out there in the sun. The Inlet has a wonderful tent set over here. They have refreshments and food, so stop right on over there and grab something to drink and cool off a little bit and a bite to eat as well. Our next county that's coming up is, of course, St. Lucie County, and I appreciate you, again, all of you coming out. One of the people that's here from St. Lucie County that's not up to speak today is Commissioner Mowry. I just wanted to point out he is here in attendance, and we appreciate the support over there in the back corner. But next, we have Commissioner